If a problem can be solved, then it is not worth worrying about. If it can't be solved, then it's useless to worry about it. So that's a one Japanese concept that I found, and this is so true. Like, this is literally what I usually say, right? Like, this is exact point. But yeah, like, you don't have to worry about things that haven't even happened, and nor you don't have to create the worry, basically, right? Like my approach is always like, I tell people, like, do it first and sorry second. So just like fuck it up, and then if you need to apologize for it, do it second. Like, worry about it when it's here, but don't like try to worry ahead, because the moment you worry ahead, like, you literally can't do anything. I know exactly what I want out of my life. I don't want to waste my time doing shit that makes me unhappy. Okay, so like, depending on where this person is like looking at this from, right? Like, if this person is doing something that goes against her dream, then by all means she should eliminate that time. Like, if doing something for the other person that doesn't make you happy, then yeah, you should do it. But if the question is, like, if she wants to skip all the hard work that is required for her to get to where she needs to get to, then that's also no. Like, that's also impossible. Like, my thing is, like, I promote the idea of enjoying the journey instead of enjoying the trophy, right? So you should get on any journey that allow you to have fun during the process, regardless or including the hardships that you face. Because the thing is, if you're growing into the direction you want to grow, then any failures, any rejections, any adversity, any hardships that you have to go through essentially help you to grow in the direction that's aligned with who you are and who you want to become. And that shouldn't be hard. Like, that's just natural, and it actually grows you in the direction you want to grow. So that's the purpose of life, basically, right? So that's my advice, and I'm a big believer of, if you're not growing, you're dead. And that is so true. Like, if you're either growing or you're dead. So if you want to keep growing, which ultimately gives you the opportunity to feel happy, then you gotta just, suck it up. And goes, anxiety has been up all day, finally spiked and turned into mute depression. So this person uses the hashtag nobody cares November, and it's November now. Yeah. So this should be like a decent post. But anyway, so what do I think of this? I think I chose this tweet because I wanted to make a comment specifically on the hashtag she chose. It says nobody cares, right? And my reaction to that is like, nobody cares, yay! Like, it's not nobody cares, it's nobody cares, yes! So the thing is, like, yeah, nobody cares. Like, isn't that why it's like, it's so like, it's easier for you to like want something? Because I mean, from a positive perspective, like, you're nobody, and then like, don't think that you're somebody. Like, even if you fail, even if you succeed, people's life goes on. The life goes on. The world will be how it is if you're in it or not. Like, fundamentally, like, your success, your failure doesn't mean anything to the world, right? The world will continue without you in it or not. And when you realize that, for my case, I specifically choose a narration that allow me to have the courage, the very fundamental courage that makes me just want to keep going, regardless of how maybe other people look at me when I fail, right? So much in my head, anxiety, hashtag anxiety. So I chose this quote because I wanted to say that life is so basic. Like, I think a lot of people make it so complicating that, like, we get overwhelmed, right? And then you gain anxiety and you get confused, you don't know what to do, therefore you get anxiety, therefore you get depressed and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, life is so basic. When you operate your life with very like a basic idea, which is, you know, life is making a decision between you do or you don't, and there's no like halfway, you know. Halfway is always excuse. Like if you want to drink water, you drink water. If you don't want to drink water, you don't drink water. Like, it's that basic. And then the same thing can be applied for many other situations. Like, I'm talking about fundamentally everything in between is always here. Like, here you're hallucinating some sort of excuse, you're hallucinating some sort of like reasons that don't necessarily mean anything. Like, my thing is like making decision and moving on it. The speed is much more important than making a correct decision, because you can always fix your decision when you choose the wrong one, right? So that's my advice. Next one. I'm just laying in my bed thinking of all the mistakes in my life and the stress that I'm under. Okay, so I'm not saying that having stress is bad, right? Like, I'm not saying that you're a bad person for having stress. I mean, it's natural. But that's a very wasted usage of time. Like dwelling on your worries, dwelling on your failure, and worries in a sense that like sometimes people worry about mistakes that haven't even happened yet, right? Like, that's like that definition of waste of time, because they haven't even happened yet. Like for example, my mom, like she started hallucinating about, so one day my grandma wasn't feeling good, like she was sick or something, and then all of a sudden, like, my mom started worrying about my grandma getting cancer and shit like that. But I told her, like, Mom, like, it hasn't even happened yet. Like, why are you worrying about things that's not even happening, right? And I think that's the same logic here. Like, for the failure that actually happened, like, by you thinking about it, would there be solution? Like, would that situation change? The answer is always no. I mean, it already happened. So you have two options. Either to cry about it, dwell about it, feel bad about it, like blame on yourself, like feel stupid about it or whatever. Or you suck it up, you own it, and then you keep, like, move on. You move on to your next success, next action. And something that sits with me a lot that I heard a long time ago, someone told me, like, usually what people remember of you is your best score. Like, people, no matter, like Thomas Edison, like, no matter how much failure you make, in the end of the day, if you make a great success out of 10, like one like superstar success, then that's what people usually remember by. So remember you by. So, you know, the same thing. Like, don't dwell. Like, dwelling and crying on whatever that already happened doesn't produce anything. So you need to focus on production.